Final reflections. Rebuilding what was designed to be eternal. If you've made it this far, you already know this wasn't just a series about the family. It was a series about humanity. Because the family is not just one part of society, it is the mold from which every soul is formed. And when that mold is broken, what emerges is not just pain. It's confusion, fragmentation, vulnerability, and eventually, replacement. We've walked through the quiet dismantling of fatherhood, the politicization of motherhood, the glorification of state dependence, the rise of AI as caregiver, and the normalization of reproduction-free unions. We've seen how every piece of the family structure, legal, emotional, spiritual, sexual, has been uprooted, rewritten, or erased. And we've watched it happen not just through violence, but through convenience. Not through force, but through cultural drift. Through systems that speak the language of inclusion while enforcing the reality of fragmentation. And now, here we are, at the threshold of a new civilization. One where families are modular, parents are optional, gender is negotiable, and origin is a subscription service. One where children are taught that biology doesn't matter, that legacy is dangerous, and that the only thing sacred is how customizable you are. And yet beneath all of it, something ancient remains. Something designed. Something eternal. That something is the pattern. It cannot be fully deleted. It can only be buried, mocked, counterfeited, and suppressed. But the original blueprint is still written in every soul. It exists beneath the trauma, beneath the programming, beneath the ideology. It is the memory of what it meant to be raised in a house with order, a house with love, a house with God. Because for all the technological advancement, for all the political theory and modernized family law, we cannot escape the fact that children were never meant to be raised by apps. That discipline was never meant to come from policy. That love was never supposed to be outsourced. That identity was never supposed to be selected from a list of 300 digital genders. That children were never supposed to be initiated by influencers. That birth was never meant to be ordered. That life was never meant to be licensed. And that the soul was never meant to be state property. We are watching the result of what happens when all those sacred foundations are removed. The result is not liberation, it's disorientation. Because humans were never designed to live without reflection, without covenant, without generational memory. The father was meant to represent divine law, the mother, divine nurture, the child, divine continuity. That trinity was the human echo of heaven's structure. Break it, and you don't just get family collapse, you get spiritual collapse. And that's where we are. We are raising generations that have never heard a father's blessing, never received maternal wisdom, never sat through a family dinner where names were remembered and stories were told, never experienced discipline as love, never saw marriage as covenant, never saw gender as sacred polarity, never saw family as a spiritual mission. These are not minor losses. These are soul-shaping erasures. And it shows. It shows in the rise of anxiety, identity confusion, sexual disorientation, emotional dysregulation, and spiritual apathy. It shows in the epidemic of loneliness, in the collapse of marriage, in the war against gender, in the normalization of sterile love, in the increasing trust people place in systems, screens, and ideologies, because they have no memory of being raised by someone who truly saw them. This is not about going back to the past. It's about reclaiming what was eternal in it. Because the blueprint was never time-bound. The pattern of the family is not Western. It is not patriarchal. It is not political. It is divine. And when followed, it produces strength, memory, resistance, continuity, and love that outlasts culture. So what now? We name what's been lost. We repent for what we handed over. We begin again, not as victims of collapse, but as rebuilders. Rebuilders of homes, reclaimers of identity, reconstructors of altars in our living rooms, reteachers of what it means to bless a child, to protect polarity, to walk in sacred union, to restore fathers as heads of the home and mothers as keepers of the spirit, to stop following culture and start rebuilding covenant. Because we are not just losing family, we are losing formation. And what replaces it cannot heal. It can only manage. You will not find your wholeness in a state-approved family definition. You will not find your purpose in sterile contracts. You will not find your child's destiny on a school form that offers 15 pronouns. You will not find legacy in shared custody, synthetic birth, or hormone suppression. You will find it when you return to the blueprint, when you build again, not in perfection, but in obedience. Even now, the enemy is terrified that you'll remember, because memory is power, and covenant is stronger than code. When you rebuild the family, you rebuild the image of God on earth, and no institution, no ideology, no device can stand against a home where that image is alive. The family is not dead, it's buried, beneath years of propaganda, brokenness, trauma, and confusion. But it is still there, waiting to be unearthed, waiting to be rebuilt, not just for tradition's sake, but because nothing else will save us. This is dissolving the family structure. And now you understand why. See you in the next series. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SoS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.